Welcome to The Way to Build Wealth. I'm Ethan Block, and let's learn how to build some wealth. That's what I'm talking about. Welcome to the show. It's a Wednesday, and you know what that means. A Wine Wednesday. I haven't even looked at this bottle yet. I don't even know what we got here. What is this? Terra, but I should say this bottle. Okay, I'll wait for that. Terra and Dina, 2006. Thank you, Gary. 2006 Merlot from Valle Central in Chile. It's, let me show you the label first. Do a little bit of a zoom in action on that. A little bit to the Rizite, okay. I should say right off the bat, it was $3.50 at my local store right on down the block. Let me just grab the cork here for a minute. Here's the cork. And for some reason, all these bottles that I'm buying that are $3.50, the corks are all kinds of dry rotted. So I don't think I'm actually getting a good deal. But I'm thinking we're going to make it a theme, a constant theme on Wine Wednesdays to try to get wines under $5. Maybe we'll bump it up to $7 because, you know, I'm cheap and I'm just trying to find good deals. So let's go ahead and give this a taste for today. Really dark right off the bat, all kinds of dark. Let's give it a little swirl. Kind of matches my shirt. Let's give it a S squared. I was really geeky, I apologize. Wow. It's a lot better than the wine we had last week, which was just all kinds of chalk up in my business. I'm getting some nice fruit, really some nice fruit. I can't point. I want to say blackberries a little bit. Definitely some blackberries. I have some grass in there too, I think. I don't know. Blackberries, grass. It almost has a little burn in the nostrils. I don't know if that's due to the oak or what the deal is, but let's give it a taste. There's not much there on the taste. I'm going to be honest. Not a lot of flavor. Wow, you would think with the way the nose was, it would be a bit tastier, and I'm just not feeling it. It's not tasting bad, but so when I'm in there swishing it around, it's like lightning bolts going off in there a little bit. And then when I swallow it, here it is at the end right here. It's interesting. I don't know how to describe it. I'm not like a ultra wine guy, you know, as I said last week. I'm going to link that up down there to the Real Wine Show. But it's not bad for $3.50. I would be hesitant to bring this to a friend's house, although I think I did already. You know, but if you want some wine for $3.50, it's better than the one we had last week. So let's just get on with the show. Let's put this over here, one more taste. So I wouldn't recommend doing a big swirl with this one. That's that. So today we're taking a break. We've been covering the B cubed is what we've been calling it. The bare bones basic principles of building wealth and investing. We've covered so far inflation and time. We're going to do a quick break, cut that in half, and talk about kind of where I got some of the inspiration for the show. And I'm sure as you can see from the title of this book, some of the inspiration for the name of the show. I didn't rip it directly because this is The Way to Wealth by Benjamin Franklin, and this is The Way to Build Wealth by Ethan Block. But this is a great book, and if you see, not very intimidating on the size of the book. It's 30 pages, I think. The most difficult aspect of it is written in some older English. I gave this to a buddy of mine, and he had some trouble reading it just due to the old English. He just couldn't get into it. It's still worth a try. The book's $10, I think. You can even find it cheaper. There's different versions. I particularly like this leather version. It's kind of sexy. I mean, let's be honest, right? That's why I wore this purple shirt with it. It's like, how you doing? So in the book, let me put a little bit of background here. Benjamin Franklin had a persona back when he had the Philadelphia Gazette. He would also put out an almanac called Poor Richard's Almanac. Every year it was an almanac, and he would use the persona of Poor Richard to write these witticisms in the columns and the margins of the almanac. Things like early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Everyone's heard all of these. And he would use that persona to push these out. At the end of the almanac, on his way to Britain, I believe in 1752, he knows he was going to be gone from America for a couple of years. He wrote The Way to Wealth, basically, which was an appendix in the beginning of Poor Richard's Almanac back in 1752. I think I could be off on some of the dates. And it basically compressed all of his witticisms, all this great knowledge, into a really funny and somewhat interesting story about people at a market one day. And the market, there was an auction about to start, and all these people were thinking about spending all this money on all these goods. And there's a poor, actually not a poor, there's an old wise man that they call on for advice, and this guy just starts spitting out witticisms from Poor Richard. So this book tells of the story about these people saying, hey guy, what do you think about this? And then he starts telling them what he thinks. Awesome. They touch almost everything in life. Granted, you can't follow it super strict. If you do, your life could be somewhat uneventful, but you'll still, you'll save money and you will be on your way to wealth. I'm going to quote one line in it, but I would like to say the differences, this is between like The Way to Build Wealth, my show, and what this book is. This book's like for personal finance, and that's it. This is how you should live life. Be thrifty, be frugal, run your business, be honest. All these different great ideas, not even ideas, great principles. Where The Way to Build Wealth, we're talking about how to apply this every single day, how we can actually get there and build that wealth, whether it's investments in the stock market, which is what we're big on, or other investments, who knows, right? So the one quote I'm going to quote in the book is on page 10, I think. And all the people that are gathered there are so upset. They're like, oh, the government levies taxes. That sucks. What do you think about this? They say to the guy. So the guy, I believe his name was Father Abraham, he says, friends, the taxes are indeed very heavy. And if those laid on by the government were the only ones we had to pay, we might more easily discharge them. But we have many others. And much more grievous to some of us. Reminds me of Star Wars a little bit, the Sith. We are taxed twice as much by our idleness, 3 times as much by our pride, and this is my favorite coming up, and 4 times as much by our folly. And from these taxes, the commissioners cannot ease or deliver us by allowing an abatement. However, let us hearken, can't say that right, to good advice, and something may be done for us. God helps them that helps themselves. One of my favorite quotes, page 10 of the book. Love it. Definitely read it if you can. It's short. Even if you don't know you're reading books, do yourself a favor. We are going to be giving this copy away to a lucky viewer or someone. Whoever is the first person to tell us in the comments at what age did Benjamin Franklin retire from business. So the question is, at what age did Benjamin Franklin retire? If you're a big Benjamin Franklin maniac, it should be relatively simple, relatively easy. There's a clear indication of when he pretty much stopped business and totally went into a life of, diplomacy and a life of science. So that's that. Episode 6, forgot which episode it was. We're cruising through them. Cheers. We'll see you on 7 and pick back up with the B cubed. See you later. Cheers.